This is the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Hey everybody, well we're on holidays.
Yes.
There's still podcasts galore for you, little best of.
Yeah.
What are we doing extra for?
Just because we care about our listeners.
Okay.
No, our boss has made us. Here to help. This is
Yes.
what we're calling this podcast. This
That's
is all
right.
of the people that we've had throughout the year, some of our favourites that have given help to you.
The one, the only Maggie Dent is in the house. Welcome back, Mags.
Morning, Maggie.
Are my favourite people in WA.
You just get in WA. Here.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice, actually. Not in Australia.
What do you
I'm
mean
glad you
just-
clarified that,
Why
Maggie.
didn't you just have stopped after favourite people?
We didn't want to get ahead of ourselves.
Why did you have to put a qualifier on
all
that?
around. I love
all
you the
around.
best.
Too late.
Well,
all
we
around.
do know that we're,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
You are. We go back a long way.
Yeah, we do.
You made Kate Ritchie cry, though.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
Part of our Nova team.
I mean, the video
Yeah.
of
Who
that
would've
is up on
thought?
our socials so that people
Yeah.
can
I know.
relive the
Yeah.
moment when
I
you made
know.
Kate Ritchie
It's
National
amazing.
Treasure cry.
A lot of people really connect with what you got to say, Maggie, but that, what you had to say, and the people that haven't seen it, fill them
Yeah.
in about the point where Kate really emotionally connected with what you
Yeah,
said.
I was explaining how when most females go to bed, that we just don't drop asleep like most men.
Yeah.
Because you go into a single box sleep, boom, and women go in there and then they revisit every decision they made during the day. But we don't just do kind of like, oh, I didn't do it, they didn't eat enough broccoli and shivers. They go right ahead to next year's, book week and trying to work out the costume. And then they've gone back and beaten themselves up with something I did at their 21st. And then they go forward again and they're looking at, will they be able to get to university? And oh my God, when the dance, those dance shoes, they might wear it. So we do this whole ruminating loop that can keep us awake for hours.
You just think someone to knock you on the head with a fry pan and just knock
Well,
you
it
out.
could,
I'd
but
like
at
to
the
do
end
it.
of the day, it means we don't get enough sleep, and then we wake up tired, and then with the loop starts again.
Yeah.
And I think for Kate that particular day, she's a solo mum quite a lot of the time. She was pretty wary, and it nailed everything. She felt, and that's what we've had like. It's gone nuts.
Oh, there
Can't
was
remember.
a wave of everyone, like
But it
women
was
coming in. Oh, my
the
gosh.
conversations
Yeah.
is what.
Yes.
Suddenly there were guys going, oh, really? What, you just can't turn it off?
Yeah.
And
That's
sometimes
what
we
resonated with me, Maggie, because I'd just gone through probably in that 24 hours seeing that was the same thing at my household, and I couldn't believe my wife would. Well, I just went to bed,
Yeah.
and she got up.
Yep.
Because she's
Yep.
thinking about my son going off to
Yeah.
camp and then the other kids. And
Yep.
she was up till midnight.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
changing stuff and wondering if you had enough water, enough food,
Yeah.
and bag was packed properly and all these things. What happens if this happens? And you didn't have enough pairs of jocks or socks.
Yeah,
And
and
she
I
was
So
like,
just chuck a leg ham in a
cares?
backpack and push it out the door.
100%, Nathan, 100%.
I know, but the mental load is part of it. Like even the basic mental load to keep the household running and keep the kids, their schedule.
Yeah,
The
the
guys,
guy-
like you're very happy to go, oh yeah, I'll pick them up, but you have to be told when to pick them up
Nat,
and where to
it's
pick them up
way
from.
worse now
yes,
because
that's right.
when
On
I
top of
was
that.
I only got a school note in the bottom of a bag, lucky if they brought it home, maybe once a fortnight.
Yes.
To keep up with everything today, now if you've got kids at school or daycare, you've probably got 3 or 4 apps,
Yes.
and they're all messaging you if you've got more than one child, and then you've got your dance and your sport, and everyone's got these WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
and it's
how you
constant.
can spend 45 minutes just trying to work out what did that change?
Yes.
And then of course you're trying to order lunch, and so it's like the digital world has just amped it right up.
for sure.
Because that means those things are also going through your brain. We need to shift those apps onto Dad's phone.
Yeah.
No, they won't. They
No, they won't look at it. Nothing will
But we
ever
do have to
happen.
say we are generalising here.
Yeah,
There are
very
dads
big.
that are listening and guys that are listening that do the
Totally.
same thing. They go
Yes.
through stuff in their heads, but
you will
as
talk
majority.
to the statistically significant number of us
Yes.
women,
Yes.
and whatever the reasons, they actually kind of
Well,
felt pretty heard with that. Yeah.
And especially when you said, and then you worry up all night worried
Yeah.
about everything, and then the next day you'll add that into your
Yes.
guilt portfolio because you're tired.
And it's the guilt. It's the guilt
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
we get drowned in afterwards. The guilt stick.
Maggie, we had our producer Amy just talking and asking you a question before. It just brings me back to when the kids were younger, and that was boys with their own penises and how much they
Absolutely.
Yeah.
just
Now,
love.
Amy was telling that her husband Alex won't stop
No.
touching his. And then she
So
said
some
that
of them never grow out of it.
They're really
and she said now her
connected.
son James is doing the same.
Oh, look, it was one of those things. And can we mention it's Mothering Our Boy's 5th birthday
Yep.
this month, which
Okay,
who would
It
have
is-
thought?
yeah, this is
Nobody
great.
wanted to publish it for me. I had to do it myself. And it is one of the things that a lot of mums needed to understand how precious that part of their anatomy is, because it's external. Right, you can hold
Yeah.
it, and a warm hand apparently is really good.
Sure
And I
enough.
think then it becomes like a friend, like because it's external.
It's hard to explain, but I agree.
Yeah.
And presumably just feels
Sean
good.
really tends to abuse his friend a lot.
And I'd like to say a warm hand from Nathan's.
I knew it was going to go bad. As soon as I walked in here.
I mean,
But the young, all the boys are like fascinated.
so should
Yeah.
you stop them? Is I guess the question because or
Well, for
teach them
little
when
boys,
it's
it's often
appropriate.
an attempt to regulate themselves because it's actually what helps them calm down when they're away from their safe big people. So sometimes, early child educators or the kids in those early years, when a little boy goes to do that, he's actually not trying to be a naughty, disgusting
No.
little boy. He's actually trying to calm himself down because at that moment he's dysregulated. He's feeling really unsafe.
Well, Shaun should be calm
So
all
we
the way
need
through
to
the
talk.
show.
We need to talk to them about where that's okay.
Yeah.
and also that we don't shame a boy that does that in public
Yes.
because he's learning, and they do get better, don't they, Nathan?
Yes.
At not doing it in
Don't
public.
shame
Don't, and
Don't
if you
shame
do,
me.
just wear a big overcoat.
It's the Nathan, Nat, and Sean podcast.
Maggie, this is amazing because you don't even live here. You've been nominated for the 2024 Senior Australian of the Year for WA.
I know, right?
And you don't live here.
I did say to them,
I mean,
know,
that's
I live
amazing.
up here. But apparently because I'm here for 53 years, and also WA really hasn't let go of me.
No,
Yeah.
we have.
I mean, we
certainly
own
haven't.
you, sure.
And I'm still an ambassador, tell them. I'm still an ambassador for
Yeah.
all sorts of things in WA.
I mean, it'd be pretty funny if you got nominated in New South Wales as well and had to go up against
But it
yourself.
really means I'm finally old. I'm not.
Yeah, what do you think about
Well,
that?
you're up against Jessica Tandy, who's passed.
When
And
you have the
also the old
senior
lady
thing
from the
next to you.
Titanic.
Maggie.
I wasn't ready for the senior bit. So
yeah.
Maggie, can I
I'm
tell
really
you?
honoured. So maybe don't give it to me this time. Maybe when I'm really senior.
Okay, yeah,
and
yours.
old.
Can I
Yeah.
say, we were at the Caravan and Camping Show one day, right? And this was one of Mum's most traumatic memories. And we're walking through, I just bought her this hat, this lovely sun hat, and she was feeling good. And as she was walking through there, this person clocked eyes with Mum and went through an entire crowd to grab her and then handed her a retirement home pamphlet.
It's the hat, obviously. Hurtful.
Mum's never put that hat on again. I said, it's not the hat.
Look, it's big. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a
It's
whippersnapper,
senior.
we know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we see.
Lisa's
All right.
in Baldarvis. Hi, Lisa.
Lisa.
Hi guys,
Hi,
how you
Laura.
going?
Hi, great.
You need some help from Maggie.
I do. I'm just wondering how to navigate competing nature of siblings. Particularly, I've got a younger, almost 10-year-old autistic son who believes he should be on the same level on all things academic, physical, etc. as his 2.5-year-old brother. And it becomes quite complicated in the house in trying to navigate that he can't be on that same level and that, it comes to time.
It's an unfair
Oh, yeah.
contest.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so even though he's got that additional identity, which makes things a little confusing at times, let's be really honest that there are roosters and lambs in our kids. And our rooster kids, girls and boys, they're really a bit competitive because they do think that they are more important. Exactly, I'm far more important. Sometimes it's not the oldest. Sometimes it's, it's not birth order. And you'll know all the time they're trying to fight to be first. And therefore, it can be really, really irritating. So I think one of the challenges in that space is to be able to make sure they learn to lose well, do a lot of losing. So that's why Pass the Parcel shouldn't have changed its rules. We should be still making only one prize. We should, anything you can do over and over again, noughts and crosses, spot it games, and random things so that constantly he gets marinated in learning to lose and lose okay without it being a sign that I'm not okay, because that you can take forward into anything in life. Now, you do realise that they're not really going to take a lecture from us very often. So in other words, it's more what we can change with the behaviour. And can you fail a lot too so they can see you failing and you're actually okay with failing? And it kind of models for them that we don't always have to win to be, a decent human. I think...
So Lisa failing, would that be as simple as like burning dinner one night?
Yeah.
Or what would it?
He
accidentally...
definitely got his competitiveness from his mother.
Oh, really?
So-
Don't you hate that mirror when it looks you right?
I know
there
that's
you
harsh,
go.
isn't it? So trying new things as well that you're not going to be good at.
Yeah, absolutely. And just gently pushing it in that space. But since you're
Really sucking
competitive,
at bowling.
then
Yeah.
both of you do the same training, please. That would be lovely.
Yeah.
Well done.
All right.
Good luck.
Good on you,
Hello,
Lise.
Lise.
Thank you. Kerry's in Wellard. Hello.
Hi, how you going?
Hey, Kerry.
Hello, Kerry. What's going on that you need Maggie's help with?
I've got two boys. One's just over 2 and one's almost 10 months.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm sending you
busy.
great big love. Oh, you're busy.
And yes, and my 2-year-old, or just over 2-year-old, he's showing a lot of his personality now, and loves to throw things and kick and stuff like that. And we tried sort of naughty corners and stuff, which tend to work. But then he thinks it's a joke, and then he'll like run around and play and that kind of thing. And he's he's talking a bit, but he's not full vocab yet. So it's that sort of just understanding how do we get him to, because he'll either be doing it out of a tantrum or just for fun, throw something, and then we'll be like, no, and then he'll just think it's a joke.
Okay, let's go. Let's jump right in here. 2-year-olds, particularly 2-year-old boys, really have a tiny, weeny cognitive perception and understanding of exactly what we'd like them to do. So he's actually behaving beautifully normally. And also, you've got to remember, you've brought in a usurper that's taken a lot of your love and energy. So sometimes it takes to about 10 months before they realise this little character's not going anywhere. And sometimes what comes out of their physicality, because they can't tell you with words, can actually be what you might not like to see. But you've got to remember, physicality with a lot of boys is how they show they love them. So sometimes I want to jump on the baby. And it's because I want to play with you, but you're a little blob. So just make sure you're not telling a story that's actually not technically correct. Now, let me give you the best news ever for today. That punishment, we know that what punishment does, it damages the relationship you have with your parents, your core parents. So what you want, the more likely he's going to do what you want him to do as you go forward, is the more loved and safe he feels. So all of those things that, naughty corners and timeouts and all those sorts of things are actually a separation, not a connection or a disconnection. So I want you to row up to him, rub his back and say, stop doing that now. So you connect with him in a warm, loving way. So I need you to stop doing that now.
Go in the corner and play with your doodle.
Does that make some sense?
No,
best friend.
That's my 10-month-old, not my 2-year-old.
Well, no nappy. But can you see, once again, he's really developmentally, this is kind of normal behaviour. It's going to be frustrating for a few years, but they're not deliberately trying to be naughty, and behaviourism only work really well for rats. So work on your relationship to be a tender, firm, loving parent, because when you get the balance right.
It's hard though, isn't it? So they're just throwing something, someone's been hurt, you're furious, and then you've got to check yourself and then rub him on the back and be like, it's okay, it's okay.
I don't think you meant to hurt your brother, but right now we don't do that. Boom, drop it.
So you need to calm yourself before you approach that
Absolutely.
situation.
So hard to do.
It's not easy, and it does get gradually better, but 4 could be a little bit more tricky. Good luck.
Yeah. Amy's in Guildford. Hello.
Good morning.
Now, how can Maggie assist?
Well, I also have a 2-year-old boy.
Sweetheart.
He is, he's not struggling. I'm struggling with his volume control.
My mum went through this.
She's still going through it.
He just can't. He's just an 11 out of 10 all the time. And it sounds angry, but there's nothing in there. It's just all hot air. And he's intimidating his little cousin.
Oh, I know.
My ears. He yells in my ears.
Yeah. Okay. So the frustration of being a little boy who actually hasn't necessarily got enough words, who actually doesn't understand feelings and emotions, who's driven by all these developing things about I want, me, do, I, all of that, is that they've got to get that energy out of the body. So at the moment it's through yelling and screaming.
Congratulations.
I know, it's such a frustrating thing because it triggers all of us. I mean, I had one of my grandsons like this and, oh, man, when it was going. So what I did like to see is that sometimes either parent who's the calmest at the time, because they pick up our vibes, they look at our face because we're already lost it. That's not a loving face. I'm going to scream a bit more. If the other parent's not as, triggered by it, they come in and scoop him up and say, come on, let's go outside for a while and see if we can find some birds. So in other words, they're going to scoop you up because changing the location, sometimes it's a loving distraction, but they also see there's warm arms around him that make him feel, oh, someone's got me because I'm out of control. I need a grown-up to help me right now. And this is the only thing I've got. I've got nothing, no other tools in my toolkit right now. And that's frustrating for him. So they get really frustrated because this is the window. They want more autonomy. Yeah. And that's why you'll have meltdowns over what colour cup and, you know, that someone looked at them and, whoever
you shouldn't
farted.
look at them. So.
So it's really frustrating in this window, but that's not a child deliberately doing it. So when they're calm, your job is to watch their energy levels so they don't escalate over. So when you see their voice coming up or their face starting, that's when you step in with a plate full of food. or fart in their face or something that can lighten it in that moment before they tip over, or as Dan Siegel would say, flip their lid. If you can kind of ease into that space. But they do outgrow it, although, like I said, the worst years for boys, 2, 4, 8, 14, 18. Good luck.
I wash my hands.
There's a book coming.
Amy, and we'll give Amy a copy of Mothering Our Boys,
Good
which
on
is
you,
your
Amy.
guide as well. And you've got a podcast as well, The Good Enough Dad.
Oh, my God. How crazy is that?
Where you're chatting to a bunch of dads about just being good enough.
Amazing dads. You don't
have to be the best, you just have to be good enough. It's the same for mums too, isn't it?
And every now and then they're sharing stuff that they thought they really buggered up with. And I said, can you see the gold under this?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, no. So beautiful dads. Lots of beautiful dads.
So
I cried a lot.
John Butler.
John Butler's up today.
That's
Woo!
great.
Yeah.
What other guests you got? You got any sneak
you
peeks?
wouldn't believe it.
Hamish
totally.
Blake's on there.
Yeah. Dave Campbell. Oh, my God. That's a big
he's fun.
conversation when he drops that one, what you don't want to hear when you're a 10-year-old. Yep. Ben Tannet's a big rugby player. He's coming. I've done the How To Dad in New Zealand. Oh, my God. I had to stop because I was wetting myself with laughing. He was funniest. He's a funny dude. If you've never seen him.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is really good.
All right, we'll be listening to that,
There's
Maggie.
so many.
It's weird you haven't asked Sean McManus.
No,
Because there's no podcast long enough.
She's had Tristan McManus, which is practically the same thing.
How many kids has he got?
Yeah, he's only got three.
Three.
Yeah.
Okay, it's
good. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Maggie, we love you. Thank you.
Thanks,
so
Maggie.
good to see
Love
you
you all.
again.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.